Okay, we are back once again. We're going to be covering another video. Again, one that I haven't watched. I'm going to try and commentate the things that I see that are important as we go. And I'm trying to make sense of what Bongo's actions are, his reasoning behind them. And I'm really interested in how he uses his team, how he, what his team awareness is like as a whole. And I'm hoping these videos help those that are stuck in platinum, gold, the gold and platinum range. So let's start this one off.
If we go through the center of the map.
So we know you're in as a free stack, like the last video we just looked at. And let's go on to the jump.
We don't get used to fighting these guys. Like, we're gonna have to be able to win fights. Yeah, why not?
You guys don't like sorting, do you?
I mean, definitely don't like sorting in those high-level lobbies. But
I
these
love
lobbies,
sorting.
we can handle it. There are there's a lot of squads going this way.
Really?
Yeah, we got like 4, 5.
We can't really dip off either. We're gonna go geyser.
Yeah.
Ah, there's a team going there already.
No, it's alright.
Oh, no, we
can
still
go
have
geyser. We
to.
can go geyser.
Yeah.
Actually, I think we got
I'm gonna
it.
land at this building. I'm landing at this building. You
I'm
can
gonna hit
figure it
this
out.
one.
Because I can just sit down to you guys.
Yeah. We're leaving you that close building.
Looks like we're in the next ring.
Alright, so you guys know you're a little bit split. It's now just time to loot as usual, get it as quick as possible.
Did you guys land in the close one or no? You left?
No.
So your mentality when you're looting, is it always, grab a weapon and shield, right?
That's definitely my priority. When I'm landing hot, if I know we're contested, that's going to be my #1 priority. In this case, I know we're not contested, so I'm really kind of just grabbing things that I know I'm going to want to hold on to. So like I overlooked a Mozambique earlier, but see here, I'm going straight for that shield.
Yeah.
I know I'm going to want it, and I don't think I'm going to get closer to it at this point.
Which one are you taking?
Awesome.
I'll take the R99 then.
So I see Cram go to that little building, so I'm just going to move up to the top here. No reason just to follow behind him and loot.
Yeah. So for me, when I'm looting and I'm looting like basically for free, there's no enemies around. There's this kind of, I guess you can call it an anxiety timer, right? Because the more time that passes, the more I start to feel like, okay, there could be enemies around now, So
Yeah.
after like maybe 2 minutes of looting for free, I'm like, okay, there's a chance they could be coming through, the cave or, where that lava city is or whatever. And that's when my mind starts to go more defensive, more alert,
Right.
So right now, there's a good chance that the teams that are close to you have looted, right? And if they're rushing around, then who is like the most dangerous person? Probably you, right? Because if they're coming through here, that's possible,
That's
It's
right.
It's not likely, but it's possible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think a lot of times what I end up doing in these cases is like once I'm comfortable with my loadout, like right here I've got two purple mags on my guns, and I'm pretty comfy. So like I craft these bats because I know my teammates are running around. But what I like to do a lot of times is I'll just start watching around, like let my teammates mill around whatever they're doing, and I'll just be looking at those common routes, where we thought people landed, etc.
Yes, this is very important. I think that's a very, very underrated skill. I'm actually seeing people talk more about this now on the forums, but being the eyes to your team is huge, right? Because if you're all looting, that team awareness drops, So yeah, it's a huge thing. I'm glad you pointed that out. Right. So now, my mentality is Cram is the one that's closest to danger, right? Because you're not moving backwards, and if there is a team running through, you know, who God knows where they would be if a team was running this way, but we don't know who's here. That could be an immediate threat. So it's about now joining Cram in some way.
That's right.
They're about to be dead.
We also we avoid that big door here too, because
It's
we
loud.
know that we know how loud it is.
It's too loud.
It's like on us.
Yeah.
Once again, taking a different angle immediately. So another thing that I like to tell people is that as soon as someone pings, right, and you have an idea where they are, you should think about where you want to be, because it's not random. You could run this way, you could go through, you can choose anywhere you want, but you choose to go on top of here, right? And it could simply be because your teammates went inside. What we don't know is, if somebody goes on top, would you go up with them? Who knows, right? Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. But what I see here
The other way.
is you had every option to go in, and now you're like, they have that covered, I'm gonna get a different angle.
One's like on us.
And this is actually stronger for your team as a whole. And another thing that I like, what you do is you control the pace of your fight, right? You're not about to try and kill a guy just because you shoot this guy and you do 70 damage. You're not gonna like just stay there and fight them all because you've almost killed someone, right? You actually control how much damage you take, and you use what's going on as a whole, what the enemy is doing and what your team is doing, to decide your next move.
Oh, ape this guy, ape this guy.
There's another.
So right there, actually, if you pause, about my teammate yells, "Ape this guy! Ape this guy!" I have no idea what he's talking about. Like I have a different angle than them, and so I lean over the edge there just to look to see is this guy they're talking about in front of me,
Yeah.
or is this something like that's totally out of my vision that I can't really do much with.
Yeah.
And so they end up getting the kill there, and I'm like, okay, cool, let them deal with that.
Yeah, and you're looking out for them. So yeah,
Mhm.
it's actually it's quite interesting because your analysis of the situation, right? You don't want to sacrifice a potential third party, so you actually hold your ground here while they do whatever they're doing. And I guess you believe it's a 2v1 down there.
Oh,
Right?
ape this guy, ape this guy.
Yeah, so he's calling the ape,
There's another.
and they finish him off real quick.
Another squad. There's like two.
Another
Meanwhile-
thing that's subtle. Sorry, another thing that's really subtle, right? Is reading. Okay, maybe I'm getting really nerdy here, right? But if you read the battle fire, what does this tell you? Like,
There's another.
he gets into a fight first, right? Now he doesn't take damage. Cram is shooting, but look how much times Cram shoots versus Nova. Right?
Yeah.
Just a little bit more, which probably means this guy is hiding, right? Allowing Cram to do some damage. And that's another thing that's important, is distracting the enemy.
Actually, Nova ends up just one clipping the guy, and then Cram is doing the finish here. So if you watch the kill feed up there, so I think Nova's really just reloading. He ends up taking a good amount of damage there.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
he just
this guy,
challenges
this
him
guy.
straight up.
You know what? I never use this, right?
It's so hard to use in game, and that's just something I'm noticing as we're replaying.
Yes.
Yeah, and so then that's when he stops taking damage, and then Cram's going for the finish.
Another squad.
Because so this is good, because what I want is, I don't want people to go down when it could be a 2v1 situation. I feel like select where you fight to the death, right? And it would have done, no benefit if, the other guy one clipped Nova, right? But he's already called it. Let's ape this guy. But there's always a kind of a safe way to push, you know? That's something that I'm gonna talk about in future videos. But this is the main thing, like what you do. I'm still yet to see you just push because your team is with you, you know? Obviously it does happen. We all do it. I certainly do it. But so far you're showing like being very conscious of what your team is doing. Even with that ape call, you don't panic and go, where are they talking
There's
about?
like 2 squads over this way. Got her.
That was clean.
Octane front down low. He's super low.
Right? There's a lot of 2v1 action.
Yeah.
There's a lot, like
Octane
this.
front.
You look and you could drop instantly, right? The aggressive slayers and everything, they're going for that. But your teammate,
Down low.
this, right?
Yep.
Is that always a coincidence? I don't think so, right?
He's super low.
Yeah.
Camp for you guys. Where's the other one? Where's the last teammate?
There's the horizon. I don't know where she is. I think she was up top on the rocks.
Again, this is another thing I want to show. You know what he's doing, right? You to help him get that kill, you probably would have to go around.
Mhm.
Instead, you're more interested in this, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And I think part of that is comfort in my loot. Like I'm not worried about like, oh, what's this guy have? Can I get a slight upgrade?
Yeah.
I'm more focused on there's one more guy left, and I don't want him to win a fight against us.
Good top right here.
Hit her for 40. Flash.
So again, this is another 2v1, and you always seem to find yourself in these. And like, I'm not, it's not that these guys don't have the same capability, but if you look at it, you're never really the guy taking a lot of damage first, right? Because they're always in there first, and it's your job to back them up, and you do it in ways that are safe, very powerful and effective, you know?
Did that shield
Yeah.
It's a real puzzle for the person who's like playing the role of the Slayer to be able to do that and not take damage, not take so much fatal damage, because it forces, when you see things like this forces your hand. You don't really get to do too much calculating. Once that guy goes down, you got to try and pressure,
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, this one, it was one of those situations where it's like pretty clear what I need to be doing.
Yeah.
And that horizon gives me the perfect opportunity to come up behind her. Like she runs around the building and tries to go inside, and I just take her Q up there, and she just gives me the perfect path behind her.
Mhm.
Yeah. There's gold. Something gold.
And so now that the engagement's over, I'm going back to these boxes. I'm gonna grab what I need.
Skull piercer.
A very, very good teammate. Very, very reliable. Oh,
Side from the right, north. There wasn't an R301 in there, was there?
Nope. Heavy and long. No, there's some light right here.
We gotta kind of dip out, maybe. There was no light in those boxes,
There's
right?
light here. Inside.
dude, I like what I'm seeing. I like it, man. I really trying to promote like being conscious, because as you can tell, like even when I watch the video, there's so many things I don't know about this game. Everything that I talk about is usually like a psychological thing,
Yeah.
but you can tell when someone is thinking about what they're doing and or just running around shooting people, you know. I see it. I see it when I'm helping people play, right? And I watch them play. They might not think they're that good, but I'm like, holy shit, this person is really smart, you know? They're doing the right thing. So, of course, having better aim and better movement should only complement that, you know?
Still up here.
Yeah.
We should move somewhere.
Yeah, we got.
Because
maybe
this
we
is
can just-
what you're doing,
We gotta
I
either
think,
push
is
for
what
them or push for
most
fragment.
people are missing. Just
Still
that
up there, triple takes and tries
extra layer
shit
to,
I don't know
which
why.
is reasoning behind
Push this choke towards
their
the
actions. You know, put in a little bit of reason behind why they're doing something, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, we got 2K.
Yeah. I mean, it really goes a long way, especially in like a battle royale. Like, you know, this isn't a team deathmatch Slayer where you're just fragging out, having a good time.
Win, right?
It's a little more stressful. At least
Yeah.
that's how it is for me. But
Here, people down here.
it's also that's what makes it really rewarding.
Good with me.
Unloaded.
Because nothing is, you're never really just like full throttle, right? Like even here, right? You could just, you know where you guys are going, right? It's obvious, but you don't just like slide down there. You decide to take this angle where there's a little bit more cover, and then you wait, right? You're waiting
Mm-hmm.
here just to see what's going on,
Yeah.
and
Well,
you're
and
still
also-
waiting.
Yeah, and we knew we were trying to land sorting in this match, but there was like
Mhm.
4 or 5 squads that
Mhm.
were going there with us, and so we peeled off and went to Geyser, you know, and wrapped around, took that fight, and came back over here. And so now we're thinking, you know, those sorting teams, they might be waiting around down here for us to come over, because the ring's pulling this direction. So we do want to be really conscious of that and know that, like, hey, if they chose to go this direction, we will see them.
Right, you're cutting them off if that's an option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, or if they're trying to cut us off, really. I think that was our biggest concern with the
Yeah.
way this
First R3
this
when you
this
see
went.
no, and then let's pop it out. Pop out R9.
End of round 1 with 6
Purple barrel
squads.
Yep, we're in 6 squads.
Yeah, there could be yeah, they all land in the same area. I mean, it could be a hacker lobby, but
You're getting your loot on right now.
There was.
Mm-hmm.
You got the tag, right?
yeah, I got a purple.
Feeling quite
I
comfortable.
don't need any attachments other than a purple bolt.
I could use
We're
a
just pushing a sorting here.
2x or a 3x site.
We can push into sorting, kind of take control of that.
Yeah.
Shield bat here.
It's funny. Cram is this is random, but Cram is like the Slayer. Nova's like in between you and Cram in playstyle, right? And
Yeah.
then you're like super supportive, defensive.
When we need it.
Yeah, we found each other as a solo queue squad, and
Tag, man.
it was awesome. we just
Nice.
the first game we
Complimented each
played,
other.
we just slayed out and won, and then partied up for a little while and just kept going. It was good.
Another thing I want to point out is like Cram never really does. He moves independently, right? But he's never doing things without being aware of like the proximity of you guys.
Yeah.
Same with Nova. It's not just, oh, there's people there, let me go wreck them, right? He knows how you guys are gonna react, and he's taken his own time to do things with you guys as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's just
Knows his role really well.
Yeah.
He knows, and he also knows how
Color stock bolt.
how punishing his role is. If you're not paying attention, you're not doing those things for your team.
How much is a bolt?
Yeah.
25.
Can anyone craft me a
I think, to be honest, it might sound obvious, right? But I feel like this is the hardest role to play.
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
especially when there's 2 of them. If there's 2 people doing this, it doesn't always mean, oh, things are great. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It becomes very like destructive,
There's not another pillar here.
you know?
Is there?
Having no
Remember, character
support, no
sheet is
cover.
right below.
And often there's like people think, I need other teammates that are just like me, that want to rush everything down. And it's like, no, you just need to learn how to play as a team. You know, if you time your explosions right with someone else that can back it up, amazing. Rather than everybody just goes in and you know,
Yeah, perfect.
you do all this damage and you just hope you get out of a bad
What are you
situation.
doing?
You know,
Oh,
That's
I
how-
handcraft you a bolt.
that's when you're looking for a third party.
I was
That's
like,
what you're
"Hey,
looking
good
for,
shot."
right? When you try to third party
I was
another team, you want to see
freaking
3
out.
guys weak and just
I was
like
hell
strung
no.
out.
Yeah,
I just
yeah,
got
precisely.
75
You don't want to see one guy covering them while they're looting and all of that stuff. You're like, God damn it, you know, I want to get those kills, but I can't move yet.
I don't know.
Ooh,
Play on top of sorting, honestly, because I can scan it.
I know there's no beacon there. It's in the middle.
It's way over there, right?
Yeah, it's over in that
I'm gonna
little
go
low
scan
ground
it.
area.
So if we can scan that, that would be huge right now. We have to take that choice, that chance.
Let's do it. I got Bub.
Novers in there.
Just stand by me. Don't throw it in
Yeah.
unless we start getting shot.
Yeah, yeah. Let my gun shield do the work.
I'm actually pretty excited.
So loud.
I think me and Cram are gonna team up for some sign up for the ALGS here in a couple weeks.
Oh,
Play a squad. Yeah,
nice.
yeah, it should be fun.
You gonna
Dude,
re- you gonna
I think we
record
go
the
edge
games?
of
yeah,
lava.
I'm planning on streaming them.
Let's do it.
So I'll have them up
We're
on
just
my
gonna close
on my
in that
Twitch channel.
circle, So if we can stay
Nice,
up on
nice,
that edge
nice.
right here,
They're
Yeah,
gonna be
hopefully-
cool to look at.
Hopefully,
And someone did get
I'm
involved, but
gonna
they-
call it a success if we get
We
it to
can
day
push- we can
2,
push.
which
Just seem to
would be
work.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because it's I think it's a
They're up on
3-day tournament.
Yeah, there's
and so,
down to the right.
You know, if we do well enough to
Climb up here.
place in those
This way, this way.
placement matches.
Yeah, because the competition is gonna be fierce.
Mm-hmm.
They're scanning us.
Oh right.
So
Oh
let's
yeah.
see. Let's see how you deal with this.
They don't focus us. We got a cop from here.
Behind,
Shoot,
behind,
shoot. Oh, that's such a lucky burst.
behind. We're getting
Nice.
third party.
84.
I got cop ticket.
That's
Yeah.
a wingman
Drop down
headshot.
back.
Back to sorting if you can. Back.
Oh
Alright.
god, it's
Yeah,
kinda
so-
difficult.
Yeah.
There's nothing back here. I didn't see any back here.
All right. Let me just actually digest what just happened there.
Yeah.
So
Scanning us. Hope they don't focus us. I got
they're
a
hiding
cop
from
ticket.
your ult, and you're just trying to do some damage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we didn't realize it was a caustic. We kind of just heard a squad in here, and just decided to climb up on them. And I think, you know, probably not the smartest move that we could have done, but
Mhm.
you know, we were feeling good. We just wanted to push something and see what we could do.
Yeah. Okay. This here, I call that a very challenging run. Is that just because you have this shield?
Yes, yeah. I'm
Ah.
using the gun shield right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's the Jibby's big thing in these fights is like you can challenge this, especially if they don't have a clean angle on you. You can challenge it until that thing cracks.
Okay, that makes sense. That's how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Behind, behind,
And
behind.
now you're back to respecting them
We're getting
bullets.
third party.
Yeah.
And so you realize there's a third party there. You see Cram trying to climb up there, so he's not even in the engagement too much.
No, he's not even here.
And Nova is doing something as well, but his life is quite good. You're the only one that's really getting targeted.
Drop
Yeah.
down
Dip
back,
to
back,
sorting
back,
if you
back.
can.
So now it's for you're making a decision to retreat, and it's up to these guys too. So you believe that these guys are. If they're not, then you would have to do something else. Probably end up doming. If this was solo queue, maybe you dome, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly,
'Cause you
this
don't
is,
know. You don't know what they're gonna do. But
Yeah. You don't know what they're gonna do. I need to get out of there. So, but I also know that we don't really want to take this fight because those guys have a caustic, so we can't really push in. Like a lot of times when we're in pinched situations, what you'll try to do is push the squad that you like engaged or got low, and in that case I did 80 damage with my ult on one of them, and he was outside the building, and then I did that nice 80 damage with one of them inside. And so if they don't have a caustic, we can just push in there and just clean them up, and now we're safe. But But if not, we are getting shot in the back by they have a charge rifle and I think a triple take, and like we don't want to deal with that at all.
Yeah.
And I kind of panic here actually.
Yeah.
My team actually got mad at me after this game because of this play.
Okay.
Yeah, and so
I'm expecting you to get shot here if you cross that.
Back.
If
Right.
you cross it, because
Yep.
that's a desert.
There's nothing
That
back
is
here. I didn't see any back here.
Definitely tough to cross. Looks like
Yeah.
you're making it. Ooh.
We could dip
right
out
here.
to
I
the
need.
right. We can't wrap around.
So you're saving that bubble.
They're still shooting at us. They're gonna get third party. We can wrap left.
That sounds reasonable.
We can wrap
Ooh.
left.
Yep.
Yeah, this is bad news. Yep, and they eventually get me, because I was thinking I might have some better cover there, but I definitely do not.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so we go for the res,
Left shooting up the bubble too.
um,
Oh,
But here they
did.
come.
and they came. Yeah, they just rolled right in. And so this was just like, it's one of those situations where my health got low, and so I kind of start freaking out, and like I don't have a clear place to go that's safe. Or
So what did
at
you
least,
guys? Yeah, take me through it. So what did you guys talk about?
So when you're playing and I'm starting to get lit up,
Behind.
Because those guys, they're not in a good situation as well. These
no,
guys.
not at all.
And you have this, so it's for like, what can you do to heal? I
Yeah.
guess your bubble is the only kind of option, or to get on the other side.
Mhm. Yeah,
You know?
and I
But
think
you was gone.
I think yeah, and I think that's right. It's like I should be using my bubble right here. This is textbook time to use your bubble. I'm
Mhm.
pretty sure. And for some reason I decided to hold on to it rather than do anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. One thing that I try to, I guess, advocate is when you're pointing out like what is a mistake or what you did wrong or what you could have done better, it's to identify the mentality you had within this match, and what mentality would you have to throw that bubble down, right? What kind of thought process would you need to do that next time? Because this situation is never going to happen again. It's going to be something similar, which is why we still fall into our habits and go, maybe we can get away, you know? And something like having a backup plan where it's just, when you're with these guys here, maybe it's a simple, guys, can I bubble here, right? Or should I bubble here, you know? And they might go, yeah, do it, you know? Or if they say, no, run, then you guys are on board, you know? Or something else you can do for yourself, right? And it would be, I guess for me, I would be looking at to see, what are these guys trying to do? And if they're not trying to run,
Yeah.
right? So that shows us he's not really trying to run just yet, right? And
Right.
and then maybe we
back,
could
down
use
back,
that
back.
next time. Like, okay, let me see what they do. Let me try and hide best I can, see what they do before I throw it down. Because
Mhm.
the only reason why you didn't is because you're trying to save it for a moment where you know you guys will agree.
Yeah. And a lot of times I want to save that bubble to help my teammates, not necessarily
yourself.
help me. But when I'm getting focused, it kind of forces it, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and I think one of those things that that a lot of people look for is, I guess if you go back here, we're fighting against another Gibby, and if you're fighting another Gibby and you see that they use their dome, let's see on the scan.
You don't want to use yours first.
You don't want to use yours first, because then
They're scanning
they
back.
just ult you, and break it all. I think one of these was a Gibby.
We got a cog from him.
Maybe not. Maybe it isn't.
Maybe.
But that's one thing, is trying to hold on to that thing if you can. I don't think they have a Gibby. Looks like
What is that?
a
Who is that?
wraith. I think it's a bloodhound,
Ah.
caustic, and then maybe it's like another wraith. It's like another small body,
This
for
seems
sure.
alright.
Yeah.
They're up on the thing.
Yeah, there's a team down to the right.
Another thing that I actually want to say is that this is where I think it catches a lot of people as well, is that sometimes your decision is right. It's just your execution of it,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
So, not it's not always, oh, we shouldn't have done that. It's no, that was the right decision, but we should have done it
Oh, I
better,
should have zipped
right?
across.
I gotta practice doing that thing better.
They're scanning us.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
Then you really get to play with your ideas, because we don't know if you bubbling here would have saved the run, right? We don't know
Right.
how everyone would have reacted to it, but what we can do is go.
Behind, we're getting third party.
Oh,
From,
I know what would happen when we made the run, right? So here,
Drop down,
Dip
back,
to
back,
sorting
back,
if you
back.
can. Back? Alright.
it's like,
Right.
okay, right? So maybe taking a zip line would have got you killed, so you're not about that. But what if you just wrap around here, right? What happens when you hold the wall? Could you have healed up? We don't know. But it's stuff to think about next time. Is saying, okay,
There's nothing back here. didn't
do
see
I
anything
want to
back here.
cross?
Right.
Like, you got quite
I-
lucky here, right?
Yeah.
This was
Yeah. I
quite
should have been dead.
We
Really.
could dip
If
up to
they.
the right and wrap- oh, we
Yeah.
can't
And
wrap around.
that's actually exactly what Cram and Nova did. Is they went back around there,
They're gonna get third target.
and it didn't,
We can
and
wrap
they
left.
were able to survive.
We can wrap left.
All right. Oh, you know the only thing? So, not to like nitpick what you could have done better and stuff like that, because I do agree with that to some extent, especially if you're a really, really good player and you can use everything. But here we don't even have to do that. Here we could have just said, if you just took a quick look at the enemy right now to see what they're doing, maybe you would
Sure.
understand whether you want to turn left or right.
We can wrap left.
Yeah.
You know?
No, you're totally right. If they're peeking me, I can't go right there. But if they're not, I probably even have time to pop a med kit in that bubble,
Yeah.
and then just get up behind this rock.
So like
know?
the running away, it's not a bad choice. But leaving this bubble, right? Maybe that's the risky play. Maybe you can
Yeah.
turn around and go, I'm gonna quickly get a med kit off, right? That thing is long enough for you to get a med kit off, right?
Yeah, it's 12 seconds. Med kit's like 7 or so,
There
and
you
it's
go.
fast. Med kit's faster, so you definitely have time to pop one of those before it goes off.
So stuff like that. New mentality would be to just check the enemy, like in these moments that are created where you can just turn around for a quick second, because we know there's a difference between having to run, no turning back, versus like I need to see what's going on to make the decision.
Mhm.
But yeah, I think that's cool. I think we covered quite a lot.
Absolutely, yeah.
I think this is a dope thing. It actually is quite time consuming. I didn't know it was going to take so long, but I think it's well worth it. I think stuff like this could help people just put a little bit more thought into their games.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
I
your
think-
gameplay is solid.
Oh, well, thanks. I'm glad I could demonstrate something good. It's cool to be looking through it, and it definitely helps me too. It reinforces those pieces that I think I do well, but then also it allows me to talk through these scenarios where I don't do so well. I kind of panic, or maybe my instinct needs to be refined a little bit.
Yeah. I, for one, need to start getting in these games because I'm doing so many things around just playing. But we need to play basically, man. Invite me, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well, we can squad up, run some ranked.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
All right, man. Let's
Cool.
end it here. But that was fun. Thank you so much, man.
Absolutely. That was a really good time. I enjoyed it. It was a good idea. Yeah, I'm glad you hit me up about it.
No problem, man. GG's.